It's time to see if the brand new Team Associated Trophy Rat is really worth $299. Here's my thoughts on the Trophy Rat. Hey guys, Rich here from the RCNetwork.com, and this is going to be my full review of the brand new Team Associated Trophy Rat. Now, of course, if you haven't already checked out the unboxing and the running video of this vehicle, please do so. I'll have links down in the video description so you can check it out for yourself. And I would love to hear your thoughts on the Trophy Rat. Do you think it's worth $300? Do you like the Trophy Rat? What do you like? What do you not like about the Trophy Rat? Love to hear your thoughts down in the comments section. And now on with the review. So about a week ago, Team Associated shocked the world by announcing two vehicles. Well, not really two vehicles, one platform and two different bodies. Of course, the Trophy Rat in front of you, and also the Reflex DB10 that my buddy Tony over at Competition X was able to get his hands on and also test that one out when I tested out the Trophy Rat. If you haven't heard about the Trophy Rat, it is actually based on a real life vehicle based up in Washington State. The company Northrop Fabrications actually made this thing. They took a pretty cool concept and made it look exactly like you see here. It was a cool design. The thing just drove amazing, and a lot of people followed the build. Team Associated did a pretty good job at capturing the image of the Trophy Rat. They have the design down, the patina of the body, the wood bed, the blue shocks, the large tires. It really captured the image and the styling that Northrop Fabrications did a great job on. The Trophy Rat is available in two different configurations. At the time of my original filming, these details were not available, so I had to kind of shoot from the hip on how and what was available. Now, as you see here, the one that I got did not include a battery or charger, but Team Associated is offering a full ready-to-run version of this that has everything that you saw in my unboxing video, but you'll also get a 2S LiPo and also a LiPo compatible charger. So you're pretty much set up on day one to get you running out on your favorite surface. Underneath the Trophy Rat body, you'll find basically a short course truck, but not just any short course truck. This is actually the SC5, and you may ask yourself, well, I thought it was the SC5M. Well, Team Associated outfitted it with a plastic tub chassis and also a rear motor design to keep the weight bias and it driving very nicely. Throughout the Trophy Rat's chassis, it is very well balanced with the rear motor. I had no issues driving this thing. It actually didn't feel like a two-wheel drive vehicle. I thought the shocks were absolutely beautiful and the breakages were very, very minimal, and I'll go over that a little bit later in this video. So before we get to what I liked about the Trophy Rat, let's go over some things that I did not like. Now, the famous running video had this little thing hanging down for most of it, and this is the rear tail light. Now, the rear tail light actually just uses little tiny clips that just kind of sit into the body through the hole there, and that's where the taillight sits. There isn't really a light bucket like the front ones are, so this one ended up popping out. During the video, I actually popped it back in, but then I lost the little clip that holds the LED light in. So had to keep rolling the film, wanted to get the running footage, so this thing hung out for most of the running footage. It would have been cool to have some sort of light bucket in the rear just to capture the light and really secure it on the body like the fronts. Next on the list of things I didn't like were the tires. Now, RTR tires are always kind of like a crapshoot. They'll kind of work good on some surfaces, not so good on others. I found these to be great on asphalt. These things have a ton of grip on asphalt. They're the right compound, and they definitely have the right tread pattern. Once you get on dirt, especially loose dirt where I ran it at, it didn't have a whole lot of traction, although it did kick up a roost or two going around the berms. Looking at other options out there to really give the scale look of this thing up to the next level and get your traction on a little bit better, there's some other options out there. Proline, some other companies out there have some great products just to get you looking a little bit better, maybe with a beadlock design and also gets you some good rubber and some good traction. Now these are some crawler TAs right here from BF Goodrich. Proline makes those, but there's also other tires out there like the Hyrax here, about the same size of it. Now this will use like a 1.9, but the grip on these things is just absolutely outstanding for the type of dirt that I ran this on. Now, besides the taillight, the most commented thing about the Trophy Rat is that it didn't actually portray the real Trophy Rat. Now, if you looked into the build up in Washington State, it was actually based on a 4-link rear suspension with a solid axle rear. Now, that would mean that Team Associated would have to come up with a completely new platform to put underneath this cool body, but I can't complain because this thing drives beautifully with that SC5 underneath that body. And although a solid axle rear 4-link design will look really cool, they don't actually drive the best. And I have some pretty good experience driving those type of rigs, especially racing in the U4RC series. All right, so enough negative stuff. Let's talk about some of the positives and the things I liked about the Trophy Rat. The first thing is the body. Look at this thing. I love the patina on it. I love the great looks, and it is a scale replica of an actual vehicle. It isn't some kind of futuristic Mad Max looking weird thing that some designer made over across the seas. This is actually something that is replicated to an actual vehicle. So I definitely like that. Next thing on the list of likes is this thing actually drives great. I love the fact that it does include DVC, or dynamic vehicle control. Now, of course, there's other companies out there with other acronyms to basically add a gyro to the receiver. Now, in all of those other vehicles, they did it to 4-wheel drive vehicles, which just didn't make sense because those drive pretty well. Team Associated did a great thing adding it to the Trophy Rat because it is a 2-wheel drive vehicle. I didn't spin out once, and that's because of the DVC. It actually works, and it doesn't feel like there's someone else controlling my vehicle when I'm driving. It only activated when I got a little squirrely and wasn't paying attention. Next thing on the list is the brushless system. Now, the Reedy 3300 kV brushless sensorless motor made it up to this SC600B LESC is a great combo. This thing actually takes off on 3S, operates pretty well. Temps were very low, and I've got to say it had lots of power. This thing got up to speed pretty quick and had no issues on the jumps. Next positive on the list here is that there's a ton of aftermarket support and current parts available for this rig. You don't have to wait the 3 or 6 month timeline once a vehicle's actually released to start seeing parts trickle out. This thing already has a ton of support out there. You can pick up all sorts of upgrades that are currently available for the SC5M chassis. Now, of course, this is a rear motor, so you're not going to be able to mess with some of the parts, but like shocks and turnbuckles and all sorts of things you can add to this thing. Bling it out all you want. Next thing I like about the Trophy Rat was the stock servo. Now, I'm a complete servo snob. I like fast, high torque servos that run at high voltage. Now, the 0712 MG servo from Reedy is pretty darn fast, and it had plenty of torque. I already booted this thing up, and just to give you, this thing is pretty quick for a stock servo. The last couple of things that I liked about the Trophy Rat is it came with some pretty real-world items. What I mean by that, it comes with a T-connector or a Dean-style connector, no proprietary plug or something weird that you haven't seen before, and it also comes with battery straps. Yes, just Velcro straps that can pretty much house any stick-style pack. Even some of the larger 3S packs fit in here just fine. I put in a 5500 3S pack, fit fine with these Velcro straps. So what broke on my Trophy Rat while I had it here at the RC Network? Well, the first thing, and I've already covered this before, but I lost a little clip on the body to house the LED light. That's kind of a bummer, and I do have extras here that I can just add in there once I give it back to Team Associated. Yes, this is on loan, so I do have to give it back to them, and I'll have to replace that item. Now, other things on the Trophy Rat that broke or, just didn't happen the way I'd like. The antenna tube broke right here, just kind of cracked at the bottom. Who cares, right? you don't even almost need an antenna these days. And then the last thing is I do have sort of a wheel wobble on the driver's side rear. You kind of see there it's kind of wobbling around. Not sure if it's the stub axle. I checked it. Doesn't look like it's bent. I think it's the wheel is just slightly out of round. Now, like I said, I do have to give this back to Team Associated. So I drove this thing like I stole it, which I kind of did. So I didn't really care when I was driving it, and I was just driving it, plowing it into things just to see what I could break on this trophy rat. All right, enough boring talk of this car sitting in a white studio. Let's talk about how it actually drove. Now, I was pretty impressed with this thing, and to be honest, I don't get impressed by a lot of RTRs these days, especially two-wheel drives. This one actually impressed me. For 300 bucks, they did a great job of making it look cool and drive very nicely. Now, I thought it was very well planted in all the corners, the turns. It jumped nice. The traction was pretty darn decent, especially on asphalt. Once I turned it to that loose, loamy surface, it did pretty well. I think with a quick tire change on this thing, it will have maximum amount of traction. Now, what I did like about the two-wheel drive platform was the included DVC, the built-in gyro. This thing just handled great throughout all of the turns. I never spun out, and that's typically what you'll see in a two-wheel drive vehicle, is you'll just pretty much spin out time and time again, and you'll get frustrated. Now, the shock package on this thing is pretty nice. Although it doesn't use like a threaded shock body, it does have the blue anodized aluminum shock bodies, and you just have the clips. I thought this thing was very well set up out of the box. It jumped and landed great. All right, so finally, is the trophy rat worth 300 bucks? Well, the first thing you have to ask yourself is, do you like the way it looks? If you like the way it looks, I can assure you this thing drives great. I think it is worth 300 bucks. I think it gives you the looks that you want. It drives great. There's plenty of parts support out there. It's a pretty common platform. You can switch out wheels and tires here with almost anything short course. The whole scale world has tons of options out there to add additional lights or anything else that you may want to this trophy rat. Finally, I love the fact that Team Associated came out with this car. It's definitely a departure of their normal kind of racy looking kit cars that they're definitely famous for. I think it does a great job of appealing to the mass market and getting more people into RC. Well, guys, that is it for now. If you have any comments or questions about this video or this car, please feel free to leave it on down below. I'd love to hear your thoughts on if you think the Trophy Rat is a cool car, and would you buy it? Is it worth 300 bucks? Well, guys, that is it for now. Comments, questions on down below, and as always, thumbs up and subscribe. That's it for now, guys. Over and out.